All right, we are live. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. Thank you for attending our free live seminar. It's called Control Your Finances Through Conscious Spending. I'm Tim Collins, your lifestyle transformation expert with 20 years. It's been a long time, 20 years of experience in business and entrepreneurship. Our topic today is important because did you know 67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and 37% of Americans don't have enough cash or money in their savings to cover a $400 emergency expense. One of the most significant pains a human being will experience in their lifetime is associated with their finances. Today, our mission is to help you master the fundamentals with your budget. I'll go through an example, basic and simple. However, at the end, I'll have an assignment for you. And my goal is to help you rewire your mindset and develop the capacity to maintain a healthy financial budget that aligns with the outcome you want to produce with your life. Here is the example. Let's start on the basic level. We'll suppose you work a job. You earn income through a job. Please follow along, everyone, and remember at the end you will make it your own. You have a job that pays you hopefully you can see that. That's a little light. Let's get a different marker here. Let's use a black marker. Let me erase this here. All right. We have a job that pays us $5,000. We call this your gross income. Okay? Let's put gross. If you have a pen or pencil with some paper, please follow along. We call this your gross income because it's the money you make before deductions. All right. After deductions, you call that your net income. So if you have a job, most likely you're going to have money taken out through federal. So you'll have federal taxes, federal tax, which is about 10% of your income, your earned income. And I want you also to keep in mind here, everyone, this percentage can fluctuate depending on your income level or your income bracket. Let's use 10% to maintain a simple education process today. Federal tax is probably about 10%. State tax, let's write state tax. You're looking at about 8% of your earned income. Next, you have Social Security, which is about 6%. Lastly, you have Medicare. Let's write that down. Medicare is going to be your lowest percentage, about 1.45. And again, it could go up, it could go down slightly. Now, what do we do? How do we figure out our deductions? Now, we know what our gross income is. It's $5,000. That's your take home. That's what you earned. That's your earned income through your job. However, we need to calculate our deductions, which will provide us with a new number, which will be your net income. 10% of 5,000 is $500. $500. 8% of this $5,000 would be $400. Okay. Now we're looking at our Social Security, which is 6%. 6% of the 5,000 gives us, let's write that here, $300. All right. Medicare is 1.45%. We're looking at $72.50. What number do we get after adding up our deductions? 500 plus 400 plus the $372.50 will give us our net income. Remember, net income, this is the money you will use to finance your life or finance your budget. All these numbers added, we get $1,272 and sorry everyone. To get our net income, we're going to subtract the gross from our deductions to get the net. So this number right here, that's your deduction. So let's write that in. 5,000, my apologies, $5,000. All right, wake up here, TC. $5,000 minus the $1,272.50 will give us our net income. Let's calculate that here. All right, if you have a calculator, pull it out. Please follow along with me. Stay awake here, stay awake. Let's grab our calculator. 5,000 minus 1,272.50 is 3,727.50. 3,727.50. This is your net income. This is the amount of money you have to budget and finance your life. Our next step, okay, I encourage all of you to follow along. The budget I'm going to show you is simple, basic, and generic. However, afterwards, you will convert this information into your own budget. I want all of you to gain a fundamental perspective in terms of how do you identify the loose bolts that are current in your budget. We'll flip the board around. Remember, this is our net, 3,727.50. All right, let's turn the board around. All right. Okay, what do you get? All right, we have a chart. So if you have a sheet of paper, please pull it out. Pull out your sheet of paper. You need to know this, people. You need to know. Okay, please. You need to know what your fixed expenses and your variable expenses are. All right, net income, what did we say? 3727. 3727.50. Financing your life with $3,727.50. Okay, fixed expenses are fixed. It means they always stay the same. They don't change. Okay, your variable expenses, they can shift from time to time. All right, you need to know what both categories are and where to categorize your expenses. So I wrote it out for you. And remember, you'll make this your own later. For fixed expenses, these don't change. You would put your home rent, maybe car payment, utilities, phone, health insurance, loans, subscriptions. Maybe you have Netflix, Hulu, or gym membership. And if we total our fixed expenses that never change, we get $2,500. All right, we have $2,500 total that we're spending each month with our fixed expenses, okay? Now we need to look at our variable expenses. These are going to change from time to time, okay? Groceries, maybe you eat out a few times a month. Your gas, you need to get to work, and maybe you have kids you need to pick up from school. Entertainment, watching movies or going to the movies with your family. We have clothing. You need to look good. Okay. Household items like cleaning supplies, etc. If we total this amount, we get $1,400. All right. Now let's look. Now we need to compare our expenses with our net income. What do we get when we add our fixed expenses and the variable expenses? You get 39, right? 39, 3900, 3,900. Okay, you get 3,900. All right, and our net income is $3,727.50. So actually, we would write this the other way. So 3,727.50 minus 39. Okay, what number do we get? We have our net income and our expenses. What number do we get? Let's go ahead and work in the math. Are we in a surplus or a deficit? Let's find out. 3,727.50 minus 3,900. Wow. We're in a deficit of negative $172.50. Is that sustainable? It's not sustainable, because if this pattern repeats every month, you're going deeper and deeper and deeper into debt, which is more stress in your life, and it's a vicious cycle, difficult to overcome unless you have a concept of how to budget your expenses properly. Now, there are a few steps we can take at this point. And before we go there, I want you to think about your budget from a healthy mindset. You don't need to be frugal, or you don't need to be necessarily have a tight posture with how you manage the money. You need to make sure your habits align with standards that represent the desired outcome you want for your life with your finances. Okay, so instead of setting goals, let's focus on setting standards. We will go through every expense on this board and identify where is the room for growth to occur. Maybe we start with your overall gross income. Is there an opportunity for you to negotiate more money through your job? You could talk to your boss. Maybe you've been there for 6 years or 10 years, and there's an opportunity for that company to pay you more money. That's one stepping stone towards improving your financial situation. Okay, look at your income. Ask your boss to give you a raise. That's one step. How about we look through our fixed and our variable expenses and figure out what adjustments can we make? Now, our fixed, you can't change these. And most likely, if you're renting renting those prices due to inflation, they'll probably go up in the future. So this is always going to be the same. Okay, your rent, tough to make adjustments there. Your car payment, maybe you could refinance and get a lower payment. Your utilities are typically going to be the same. Phone payment. Now, is that going to disrupt your ability to maintain a healthy budget? You getting rid of a phone? Well, you need to communicate, and remember, make sure having a phone aligns with your goals. If you don't need a phone, you can get rid of it. Maybe you're good at communicating through email. You need to identify whether or not having a phone is ideal for allowing you to maintain a healthy budget. You need your health insurance, loans. If you have loans, you have to pay those back. Subscriptions, Netflix, you have Hulu account. I have Netflix, I have Hulu. I love listening or watching personal development shows and watching Disney Plus with my kids. So that fits in my budget. However, we need to make adjustments. If we're in a deficit every month, we need to make some changes that allows us to have a positive outcome with our finances at the end of the month. Now, your variable expenses, these are easier to change. Grocery shopping, you need healthy food. Figure out the opportunities associated with you maybe lowering that expense. Maybe you could get all the same food, shop at a different grocery store, clip coupons, find ways maybe to make the $500 a little bit lower. Eating out, I'm not telling you to avoid eating out, because it could be a great experience for you to spend time with your family. However, if it's not a necessity, if it doesn't align with your goals, maybe you stop eating out as frequently and focus more on cooking at home. Gas, you need to drive. However, if you have a bike, if you know how to walk or catch a bus, is that going to help you maintain a healthier budget at the end of the month? It's your goals. You figure out what fits best for you. Clothing, you need clothes. Maybe you could find department stores that provide high quality clothing for a lower price. You have household items. You can shop around at different stores. Now, our goal right now is to focus on how do we make the small adjustments that put us in a better position to win. Now, if you continue the same rhythm of having a negative balance with your account at the end of the month, it's going to lead to frustration. This is what you call playing defense, which is great because it's helping you establish a firm foundation with how you manage your finances. However, how about we play offense, creating new opportunities for you to earn income, either through a product or a service that helps you generate more income throughout the month. And the next level from that progression is investing into real estate. These are called capital assets. Maybe there's real estate. There are stocks, mutual funds, et cetera, that help you future-proof your finances on a higher level. Now, that concludes our session today. I pray that the information we discussed today gives you clarity, and you can go back home and go through the entire budget report, go through all your finances, just to highlight everything we talked about today. We looked at our gross income. We figured out how much we need to finance our financial future through our deductions. And we went through our budget. You need to know what your fixed expenses are. You need to know what your variable expenses are, and make decisions based on standards that align with your financial future. And at the end of the month, if we're in a negative, we can make small changes that put us in a better position to succeed with our finances. However, after you gain control or manage what you have already at a reasonable level, think about new opportunities to explore more income through a product or through a service you can provide that allows you to impact your community on a higher level. Think about your passion, skills that you already have. Write it down on a sheet of paper. Speak with a professional who can help you convert your dream into a reality, or your opportunity into your reality, which will ultimately help you deepen the connection you have with your purpose. If you love to learn more about what you can do to elevate new income opportunities, to balance your budget on a more specific level, we offer workshops. We have in-person classes, and we do one-on-one sessions through Zoom. You can reach out to me directly through my phone line. You can email me at tothetoptc@gmail.com. Firstly, the phone number is 402-906-1199. My email address is tothetoptc@gmail.com. We have a variety of programs to help you maintain a healthy, resourceful perspective as you take control of your finances and use your skills to build a blessing for your future financially. I love you all. Please have a blessed day. Share this video. You comment on this video, I'll reach out to you soon. And remember, the journey of 1,000 miles, it begins with the initial step. I'll see you all soon. Have a blessed, wonderful day.